Hey guys, Lorcan the Hedgehog here, and, well, I never thought I'd get to see this screen again. Hell, I never thought I'd actually make another video like this since, I want to say, 2018? I don't know. It's been that long time since I played the Simpsons Tapped Out, which, for my newer viewers of the channel, I used to be a Tap Out, Let's Player, basically. I played a lot, about what the Simpsons Tap Out over the years. And it's going to be shutting down next week. Yeah, it's officially going to be closed down. And by the time this video goes up, it should be like 6 more days until Tap Out officially is closed. Like, its service will officially end. So, yeah. And since I never actually gave this series on my channel a proper conclusion before, I figured while I still have this one chance to, while Tap Out is still going to have my last chance with this game, I might as well do a little video to show off, my Springfield. And before it all goes, just have a little nice little video to remind myself of the good times with Simpsons Tapped Out before it officially ends. Oh, I don't know how my Springfield was like back in 2018, like doing the Moe's Ark event, but bit of a change. A lot of big stuff happened with Springfield over the years. So a lot of characters, so many characters. Yeah, so I kept playing Tap Out normally anyway, even if I didn't make any videos related to it outside of the Simpsons Tap Out Awards that Marcus Roberts used to do with us and a few other members of the Simpsons Tap Out community over the years. Yeah, the server still disconnects, and instead of Bart pulling the plug, now it's just showing the computer stuff putting it into a box. And yeah, it shows there that after January 24th of 2025, the Tap Out servers will officially be closing down. So yeah, it's still a bit buggy here and there. It is from EA and this Tap Out. It's been like that for years, as I say, decade at this point now. So yeah, it's been a little bit of an issue here and there, but it is what it is. But yeah, this Springfield is still fairly big. I lost track of what I was saying. I did make a lot of Simpsons Tap Out videos over the years. I want to say I made over 260 videos with Tap Out. That's like about almost 25% of my channel's 10-year history. But around 2018, I just randomly decided I had enough. I had enough making videos to the game at that point. It wasn't even the game itself, it was just the video making progress with it. I wasn't a fan of, especially when my screen recorder back then would sometimes just randomly fail and corrupt on me, meaning I had to redo the entirety of the video, but just in a minute-long format, just because I've done all the big stuff as it is. So release with Tap Out, ending on 24, like I said there. There's no real point. I only have everything said. I'm just one of those players that don't actually think I'm purely on characters and their quests, sending them on missions. Speaking of characters, I'm gonna say I'll buy every single character, in the game. Every skin, I got every single character across the entire of Tap Out Simpsons. A lot of super options, in the game that for some reason has not been included yet with this thing I'll get into in a minute. So yeah, it's literally 99.9% of Simpsons Tap Out has been completed for me, except getting Mirror Disco Stew. I don't know if I should be mad, or I should find it funny that out of all the characters in Simpsons Tap Out, it Anime Disco Stew that has prevented me from 100% completion with this game. I don't know if it should be funny. But yeah, everything else up to, the very beginning of the game to a Bart's future, every single character except for Anime Disco Stew. Because from at this point, when the game initially announced that it was closing down back in September, there was this thing called Taps, where it'll give you every single bit of content from across the entirety of all the events from The Simpsons from 2012 up to 2014. So it would help to give you everything. Like started here from Treehouse of Horror. I was gonna say Treehouse of Horror 23, I believe. It was 2012. So we say it's Treehouse of Horror 23. All the way up into all the holiday themed events over the year. It did some race from like October 2012 up to, I want to say, mid 2015, or at least maybe just in 2015 content in general there, since that's the other pages and all this stuff. So it did contain stuff from 2012 to 2015. Then we get like the second half, which gave us for stuff from 2016. I think I want to say mid 2017, I believe. Yeah, I'm still watching stuff. Yeah, I want to say it was that. Generally, all these tab stuff contained stuff from all the events, generally speaking. But then they made the option where you can actually buy donuts, which used to be like full on current you need to spend real money on, where now you can actually just spend the in-game money to actually buy donuts that way. You can still buy cash with the donuts themselves and all that stuff too, and the other exchange stuff from the land tokens to the Shattered Dreams tokens, which I only think I used about 2 of them to get like the super premium costumes or characters whenever it appeared at the end of the event. Yeah, I don't know what else I can really say. Like, it's weird because again, I haven't made a tap out video like this beyond the Tap Out Awards since 2018, and it was purely just because of the lack of interest on making videos on Tap Outs. And wasn't even, not even like, not interested in Simpsons Tap Out itself, because the interest was still there. I love The Simpsons. Like, for God's sake, I have The Simpsons Out of Context Couch Guy account on Twitter, and it has like 146k followers. I love The Simpsons. But it was just that for some reason, I wasn't quite as interested in making videos related to Tap Out beyond the awards. Because I think, at that point, college was starting to get a bit more, focus on me. And working on Sonic and Friends at the time as well, meant, I'd rather focus on those two rather than this game, making videos for it. And after Noah's Ark, I just said, I'm out. And even then, I think I said this a few times on the Simpsons Tap Out Awards videos, but even after a certain point, I felt like Tap Out should have ended, because the events themselves started to get less creative. I want to say when it wasn't until Treehouse of Horror, I can't remember what was. I think it was 2019, 2018. I think it was one of the, either 2018 or 2019. At one of the Treehouse of Horror events, but were the last real creative events for Simpsons Tap Out. Then they added multi-events, which was basically just the mini-event, just spread it out for a month instead. Whereas the major events had like cool gimmicks involved, like either to be like just tapping NPC characters, their currency, Cool things like the heist event having the certain bits you need to complete the act, or stuff like the Superhero 2 or 1 that has a horror events where you could do this because RPG battle system thing going on with some of the characters. But then after a while, like I said, a lot of it just came down to mini events. Like, some cool characters, some cool skins, stuff like that. But it was basically just the same thing. Keep doing this for 4 hours, come back, do it again. There's no, unique mini games, there's no real creative elements to it. It just felt very repetitive. And I want to say it was around 2022 that I was having the impression where Tap Out should have ended because they don't feel like they're very interested in doing something unique with the game beyond just adding another character from the show, which, in fairness, because The Simpsons is still on, season 36 now, but before, earlier this year, when they announced the game was closing down, that meant they could still add stuff from the newest seasons at the same time with the show. So it meant they had literally still had 100 of materials to work off from when it came to Tap Out. And yes, despite the fact that I want the game to shut down, it still feels weird because I've been there since day one. I've been playing the game since 2012. So to see that 13 years of my life tapping away on Homer Simpson and the rest of Springfield just gone like that, it's a weird feeling to have. The main reason, we don't actually know why exactly EA is closing Simpsons Tapped Out down. They're closing a bunch of other related games throughout the year. I think one thing is purely EA wants to focus more on IPs that they get to own themselves, they create the IPs, because there's this potential rumor that EA will lose the Simpsons video game rights, which they have owned since of 2005, I believe. 20 years, basically. Same thing with the Universal wide, with the Simpsons, Universal Studios with the Simpsons wide. They have a contract with Fox made where they get to have the wide and the rights for 20 years. And then after that, which is the Universal 2028, after that, they lose the rights and will revert back to the company, which in this case, it'll be Disney. So Disney could potentially get the Simpsons video game rights from EA now, and who knows what that could mean in the future when it comes to not only the Simpsons video games, but even just in general, what can Disney do with it? Would Disney actually be willing to put the Simpsons characters in certain crossover games with the company? Will Disney allow stuff like the 2 Fox mobile app games I can think of, Animation Throwdown and Warped Kart Racer, which has the Fox animated show characters in there? What's stopping them now from adding The Simpsons? They could potentially own the video game rights. They can literally add Homer Simpson and other characters from Springfield in those games. Even, who knows, because of how Disney has really used The Simpsons within their brand lately, ever since of buying Fox almost 6 years ago at this point now. Who's to say that even The Simpsons can appear in regular mobile app games from Disney, or even console games from Disney? Putting The Simpsons with Mickey Mouse and all the rest of the characters from Disney and Pixar, and even Marvel, Star Wars if they wanted to. It's going to be interesting to see the future with The Simpsons games after this. Especially since I don't think we'll ever get another original Simpsons game like we would have gotten 20 years ago, because the voice cast, mainly with Julie Carver and Harry Shearer, they sound, obviously they're old. So obviously their characters have definitely changed voices. They sound a lot rougher, which I'm a defender of. I should stress, I am a defender of the Simpsons voice cast doing their thing with these characters, no matter what people say. I defended Julie Carver God knows how many times whenever I post a new Simpsons episode clip nowadays that has her speaking. But even with that, I think a video game with them now might be a bit too much compared to the TV show. So obviously, if the Disney was going to do something with the Simpsons games, either A, well, probably going to make it silent, like mobile app games, just have the dialogue be written up, or they'll probably just go back to re-releasing some Simpsons games of the past, like say for example the Simpsons Hit and Run, or even even like Road Rage or stuff like that. I think a Hit and Run remake or remaster, like in the same vein as SpongeBob Battle for Bikini Bottom Rehydrated, or that recent Mickey Mouse rebrushed. They have potential. They have a lot of potential to just even update the game to be playable in current consoles would do well. I don't know. We'll find out later if that is 100% true with EA losing the Simpsons rights, and see where it goes in terms of the future with Disney as well. But for now, at least, again, as far as Tap Out's concerned, it made a lot of money for EA back then. It was like a massive success for EA back then. But I think that's because mobile app games and generally games with microtransactions weren't as prevalent back then. Whereas now, when we got console games doing it, like with Fortnite, Overwatch, even licensed games like Marvel Legends, Multiverses, stuff like that. Marvel Rivals, I say Marvel Rivals. I think that's a mobile app game anyway, so generally speaking, we get into stuff where, obviously Disney even gets involved in the microtransaction stuff with mobile app games and console games, alongside with Fox, Paramount, Warner Brothers, all the companies you can think of, eventually getting down that line. So, maybe that by this point, Simpsons Tapped Out just hasn't been as profitable now compared to how it was back a decade ago, when mobile app games and microtransactions in general weren't as commonly known within video games. So, again, who knows exactly what's going to be happening with the Simpsons video game rights anyway, why exactly EA is closing Simpsons Tapped Out down, and if this means anything with the future of the Simpsons games. From either EA, Disney, whoever gets to have it at this point. But as far as I'm concerned, I'm still grateful for whatever I got out of Tap Out within these 13 years. I got to meet some very good people within the community. I got to collab with the Simpsons Tap Awards. Like I said, I've been consistent ever since the beginning. And it was still fun to play this game and get to have, a Simpsons mobile app game that has lasted as long, like the show itself, in a way. And we'll find out on the future in terms of the Simpsons video games later. But for now, farewell Tap Out. I'm definitely going to miss you, and at least I'm glad I'm going to have over 200 videos to at least remember you by. So, for those who stuck around for Tap Out, all these years on my channel, thank you very much for watching. And, well, again, goodbye Tap Out. It's been fun. So, I have no way to end this. I'll see you all until my next video, and farewell Tap Out. Peace.